The ego review, settling in for the long haul.
Oh yeah, looking down and
play-
seeing that counter in 11 seconds of 3 hours, 7 minutes and 53 seconds.
Anyone knows what's even funnier? I cut out about 45 minutes of grinding.
Fucking Jesus. Okay, so wait, this is a point and click. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're getting in right into it.
What's going on?
It's become a turn-based space battle simulator.
Jesus shit.
But this was a supposed to lose fight, obviously.
Oh, Daniel Gordon.
See, we were playing video games on company time.
My word, this is interesting.
That's us.
Daniel's you again.
Yes. So, what I wanted
This is
to
literally your data entry job.
Well, what I wanted to say introducing Galaxy Fantabulous Wonderful is this is essentially the exact same idea as Rob Blanc, but filtered through me, slightly older, slightly more cynical.
And a bit better.
So it's clueless human twonk is abducted by aliens and has space adventures, but this time, like, in a new way.
Yeah, okay. So we've got a whole new clueless twonk.
Yeah, who is a data entry clerk. And
What's that job like, Yahtzee?
And unlike Rob Blanc, he's a skinny little twerp.
Whereas, Rob Blanc was like buff and ladies loved him.
Yeah, well, young boys seem to like him.
Yeah.
If there were any ladies in the Rob Blanc games, maybe they would have loved him.
Zordon!
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm presuming this is like the last starfighter for data entry clerks. So like, man, you entered data, like, fuck, you're coming up to space to be our account.
No, it's not. This is more like the human character is the butt of the universe, sort of thing like Hitchhiker's Guide was. So we've spoken to this.
Schlub.
So this guy next to us is talking about this great job opportunity he has, and he has to render us unconscious for it.
Did you even agree to go to the thing? Just...
Well, you've been abducted.
Oh,
We are lying in a windowless capsule. Luckily, that means I don't have to burn. So
what's the character's name again?
Dan Gordon.
Dan
And he's
Gordon,
called that because I took the two mundane halves of Dan Dare and Flash Gordon.
Who's Dan Dare?
He was like a British pulp sci-fi character. He was the guy whose enemy was the Nikon.
Red shirt security.
So we've been abducted by like a red shirt employment agency. And basically we're just being sold to the highest bidder to do odd jobs for whoever they are.
Were you part of a temp thing? Well, that's interesting.
Yes, these are the aliens who we now work for.
So, this simply visually and the way the game sort of is generally plodding along now, I'm way more engaged than I have been with the last few games.
Well, that's good to know.
This is
So these three characters,
ships the same.
These four characters,
The
really.
fuck is it with you and shitty toasted vessels?
Well, in this case, it's the joke.
Okay.
These guys are like mercenaries with the shittiest ship available.
Okay, good.
Actually,
Because that looks like a tub a kid keeps crayons in.
Actually, the ship is specifically designed after, inspired by a line from Red Dwarf, where Starbow was described as a big skip with thrusters. So I designed a ship that basically was a skip with thrusters. It's shaped exactly like a skip.
What's that little fuck ball?
That's Eric. He's the pilot.
Okay.
So I wanted
Mr.
the crew of the Elaborate Gesture, which is the name of this ship, were like a group of group of complementary characters that I always wanted to do more stuff with. I originally envisioned them as like a webcomic, but I never got around to actually doing it. Exploring them. I think after this game I wrote a short story about them. It's on my website somewhere. That's about it. So they're all like quirky characters. And we've got Bromede, who is the captain, the green lady.
Oh, that's a woman.
Yeah. She was like originally like the green skinned space babe in like someone else's like starship crew, and where she had to wear like slinky outfits. But now she's sort of rebelling against that and only wears a baggy t-shirt. The little brown furry thing is Eric. He was a genetically engineered creature designed to act as a toupee. They're the pilot. And the communications officer is Hole, who's, for no adequately explored reason, a humanoid who is invisible except for his eyebrows. And this game actually takes place within the Rob Blanc universe, sometime after it, so this location may seem familiar.
Yeah. honestly, I actually looked at that and said, huh, and thoughts went to Rob Blank.
We're back on Tarabis, whatever it is.
I don't remember.
Tarabis 6. In
Okay,
front
so
of-
like, I'm not playing this time around.
No,
Did you
this
have
is
a reason for that? Just the sheer amount of time it takes?
Yeah, I had to pre-record the video because
Yeah.
I had to remove the grindy bits.
Okay, so that interests me, because the idea of there being grinding in a point-and-click adventure game is...
Well, we'll get to
I can't
that.
think of a game that has
We'll
done
get to that when the full extent of the game's mechanics are introduced.
that. Okay, 'cause my first thought is a bit like getting the money in Legend of Super Mario 5, I think, like, where it's just, you just have to fucking gamble for a while.
Well, at the moment we've been abducted by these aliens. They've sent us to take a package to Quim Gymkhana, the current head of the Gymkhana crime family that we encountered in Rob Blank 3.
You've never seen the movie Jim Carter?
No.
That's a karate movie about a gymnast who fuses gymnastics and karate.
Yes, you've told me about it before.
It just, I don't know, it looked almost exactly like Jim Carter. Can't stop thinking of it.
So the guard's not letting us pass. Oh no.
What the...
So this is like the adventure game aspect of the game.
Okay, so have
You just walk around on planets, you use stuff, pick up stuff, use it on things, and let's throw a brick through this window.
That kid looks like he's leaning against the wall with his forehead. He doesn't look like he's...
Well, he's facing towards us.
No, it doesn't look like that. It looks like he's facing the wall. Like
Because
he's
I
just
was-
pressed his forehead.
Because I was concentrating on the more complex gameplay for this game, I deliberately made the stylistic choice of going for very simplistic graphics. So there's not much shading, and the sprite's very simple, and the animation is minimal.
No, I think that's better.
Yeah, I think it looks a lot better than the Rob Blank did. It's not like
Yeah.
There's not all these ugly black lines around everything.
Because you've got to define stylistic choice, as opposed to just attempting to be good.
Well, yes, quite. So we just
Face the wall, young lad.
he's not facing the wall though.
He
I'm
really
not
looks like he
seeing
is.
how you're seeing this.
I'd punish a child that way. I think that's why with the forehead.
So we're trying to enlist this child to distract that guard for us.
Okay, I'm gonna get him a snack.
Do you like this font I designed? It's very hard to read, isn't it?
I wouldn't call it hard to read, but it's there. It's very
Floppy.
Apple IIe printer.
There you go.
Okay, so we just ran in and stole a gun. That's not what we were thinking when we thought distraction, kiddo, but look, you know, it's...
Whatever works.
Yeah, your party.
Let's see if I can maximize this without screwing stuff up. There we go.
Ooh.
Now it's big on our screen.
Do. Now it's pixely as fuck. Package!
Yep, the living package has completed our objective. So now we will transition clunkily to the main plot somehow.
He's accusing us of being an assassin of some description.
He's accusing us of carrying a bomb because we are a red shirt from Red Shirt Security, and nobody informed us that red shirts are specifically designed for suicide missions. Because they're red shirts.
Oh, like in the Stars Trek.
There you see. That'll be a little bit more obvious.
I wonder if that's
Now,
kind of a running joke around geek culture.
now Quim Gymkhana's hearing a voice that we can't hear, and now he's just walked off in the middle of a discussion.
Gonna be Dougie. Hey.
Hey, is this a suicide mission? Yes, the captain has done the same thing Quim Gymkhana just did. Got a weird faraway look in their eye and then headed off somewhere. It's like the Scotsman in the Monty Python science fiction sketch. Just mysteriously turned into a Scotsman and ran away.
That's making me giggle. Okay, so fill me in here. There's two distinct. So we've got kind of an FTL gameplay.
Well, not really. You'll see as it comes along. This is the need to know.
Wow.
We've already seen the adventure element. Now we're going.
Yes.
Now we'll gradually have the space exploration stuff tutorialized too. The captain was in charge, and neither of the other two want to take responsibility, so they just sort of
Sensible.
shanghaied you into the role of captain.
That would be a really unpleasant situation to be in. It's like there's everybody else around you who conceivably just know more about you than the situation, but don't want to be in charge.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're in charge now. Aye, what? I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, so Cole is the cynical, snarky guy who doesn't seem to give a shit about anything.
I don't know. Those eyebrows scream that he cares.
Yeah, I think the reason why I envisioned a character who's invisible except for his eyebrows, because the eyebrows are pretty much the only part of the body designed exclusively to convey emotion. So
Um,
you can still convey a whole range of emotion with just the eyebrows.
they also keep sweat from getting into your eyes. That's really important too. I knew a goth kid in high school who shaved off his eyebrows, and then he had to learn that the hard way.
I think you told me that before.
Summer's not funny.
Now here's tutorials. So we're not paying much attention to because we're
Hooray.
not playing.
Okay,
So
how easy is this to download and play? Is this a challenge to get up running?
not really. Seems to work alright. As it was.
Oh, the blue dudes again.
Now we're acting captain. Trying to find out what's going on with all these people running
I think they
around.
call him Quam.
As I was younger. Also, because the character in Red Blank 3 was called Tinge in Futurama, I think. Like a random name. Now we need to go to a space bar called Bloody Towel. There wasn't really much thinking behind that, right?
I don't know, my first thought was when there were space tower references straight to Dragon's Guide.
Alright, here's some background.
Okay.
In Rob Blank 3 there was a sort of galactic government, but that's apparently been disbanded, and now the galaxy is divided into 3 zones. We're currently in the free zone, where there's no police, and there's a lot of crime, and it's there's an evil pirate organisation that shakes everyone down all over it. Next
The
zone
Sudan. So we're in space Sudan.
next zone is the zone where there is no like authority at all, just total anarchy. And the final zone is the protected zone, where the galactic police keep order.
Is it a scary North Korea order?
It may well be. So
See if I can pick all the major plot twists in this like I did with
now we're introducing the major grind of this game.
Okie dokie.
You have to trade the four galactic commodities: armaments, bacon burgers, chocolate, and pornography. Every planet with a spaceport sells those 4 commodities at a different price. You just have to sort of remember what are the best trade routes. Basically,
Ooh,
very,
okay.
very simplistic elite.
Okie dokie.
So just for the tutorial here, it's establishing that we can buy pornography here and sell it at the next spaceport over for slightly more.
Trading's boring as hell.
It is indeed.
Thanks for pointing out that the main gameplay mechanic of this is going to be dull as fuck.
Well, after a certain point, you don't really need to trade anymore.
Oh, what
And
do we
you
do
can-
after that?
And once you find some really good like trade routes, you can make a lot of money very fast.
Uh-huh.
See, I still sort of think this game holds up in a lot of ways.
How many planets are there?
It doesn't in some ways, but it does in some ways.
So we'll find out in 2.5 hours.
There's a couple of mechanics I am like quite good still.
Well, I mean, I'm interested. I mean, this scene's probably
Keep saying
lingering
that.
a little bit longer than...
Well, we need to establish all this stuff. And now we get into the main issue, I think, with the design of this game, is that all the functions, like trading, communicating and stuff, is done through dialogue trees. And I think there's quite a large click-to-action ratio. You have to click on a lot of stuff to do a couple of very simple things. We're going to establish the characters in a sort of tell and show style with the database. We can acquire database entries on a lot of things in the game world once we have a scanner. Oh yeah, Eric is technically female because she has a modified female sex organ used for adhering to someone's cranium. And Hole and Eric are technically married. And Hole is short for Holy Good Fucking Christ, he's invisible except for his eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. Just going through the initial database entries.
So you have to click on Eric or whatever
Yeah.
his name is.
Hole.
Oh.
Yeah, you click on Hole to communicate with people. That's how you trade and get fuel.
Yeah, I can see what you
Very
mean. Like
shields.
that is just like, okay, hurry up.
So what I would do if I was making this game today is I'd just mouse over Hole, have a bunch of options appear above him, like open trading,
Hole.
open spaceport, open communication, and then it will go into like integrated GUIs where you can trade all the commodities at once. But as it is, you have to trade commodities one at a time through dialogue trees, which is way too many clicks. This is a bad amount of clicks for an action. All the fuss we had to go through just to buy some pornography there. It's like living in North Korea.
Is that the whole of space?
No, this is just the free zone.
Oh, that's right. You got the 3 zones. That's what,
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm presuming there's space combat.
Yes,
and
there is.
There's fuel concerns.
Yes, the fuel concerns. We're going to buy however
Jesus,
much more that we can at this point.
A bit long.
So yeah, fuel's in the top right, if you
Yeah.
haven't noticed.
Managed to
From
figure
left
out
to
what
right,
that graphic was.
It's missiles, money, shields, fuel, and red shirts. From left to
Now,
right.
sell.
We don't have any red shirts at present. Red shirts is how you initiate all the adventure game segments in the game, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Good.
So you see, initially we played Daniel Jordan doing adventure game segments on the planet. We don't really do that anymore. In future we have to use red shirts for that.
Oh, okay, so we create like our little suicide troops.
Yes.
So we're like the adventure game version of ISIS.
Fade out, fade in, because this was the first editing out a trade grind segment.
Oh, is that what that was?
So we had to grind up some money before we could come to the bloody tower. But now we're here.
Christmas. Wow.
Yes. This is another hilarious character. It's Billy the barman, whose trait is that he can only speak in a furious bellow.
I've known people like that. Like their entire life is being, their childhood was being yelled at, their educational experience is being yelled at. I don't only know one fellow.
I imagine them talking like the Gumbies from Monty Python. I've got to go now and break up a fight.
Like, not yelling, just volume somehow.
I believe in peace and bashing two bricks together.
Ooh.
So the guy who runs the bloody tower is also pissed off. So we need to beam someone down to the bloody tower to investigate, but no one goes on away missions themselves in these troubled times.
See, this is interesting. Like, everyone's vanished. I'm curious.
You keep saying that.
Well, yeah, because most of the other games I'm just kind of like dawdling through. Like, I'm playing for the purposes of playing a game. This has actually got a thing that's going on in the background that has me kind of hooked. I want to know the resolution to why people are just hearing something and wandering off.
I wonder if it will be everything you hope.
Probably not.
You got any theories?
I don't know, they just wanted to go into space.
Oh! A low blow there.
Take that.
So this is more tutorializing
This
not paying
galaxy
attention.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Probably this as well we didn't make me play this, because I'd have gotten fucking fidgety.
Yeah, you probably would have been. We're establishing now that we have to go all the way to the free zone to buy some red shirts.
Oh,
and we have to trade our way across.
Just me getting the trading going would have taken fucking forever.
Yeah. I mean, ideally when you play
It
this
doesn't
game,
even tell you how much of what you've got.
ideally when you play this game, you should have like a pen and paper, and then keep track of what the best
Ew.
prices are. But I managed to get through this without, just by remembering what the highest prices. Like, for example, it's established in that conversation with Billy that you can sell armaments for a good price here. Of course,
Is armaments separate to your personal ammunition?
yes, that's
okay.
just a commodity. See, there's a sort of there's a trade-off with certain things. Like the best, like trade routes involve like armaments and commodities. They're the most expensive ones at various prices. But they're illegal goods in the protected zone. So if you start selling them there, the police start coming after you. You can sell them freely in the lifeless zone and the free zone. But in the lifeless zone, you get attacked by random space monsters, and in the free zone, the Colthorpe show up and demand tribute, which is always a percentage of what you've got. And you can choose not to pay and fight them instead, at which point the Colthorpe will attack you on sight. And there's no away from that. You're like basically on the hit list for the rest of the game. So
That doesn't seem very fair.
Well, that's what you get when you want to trade in the free zone.
Yeah, it's free. Completely free, except for the government of criminals that always occur in every one of these fucking demented libertarian paradises.
Okay, so...
Oh, hey, a fucking thing.
Yeah, so I decided that since we were leaving the sector now, the Colthorpe were demanding a percentage of our 1,000 credits that we had. So I thought, fuck it. I'm going to boost combat.
It's attractive. What? Tractor beam and fully scan.
Yeah, we don't actually have a tractor beam or a scanner installed right now. But when we do, those will explain what they do.
Yeah.
At the moment we can just fire missiles at them, which is always double your weapon strength, and I think always hits. Whereas if you just use the normal laser, there's a chance it will miss. So we just passed through the wormhole into the lifeless zone.
Go, talkie toupee.
Now we're establishing that every zone has a bulletin board that can give you some leads on how to make some money.
I'm skinning this into a Cowboy Bebop game.
You certainly could. I think Cowboy Bebop is like the model for this sort of genre. You know, clapped out space mercenary. But also reflected by Firefly and Red Dwarf.
Has there been a game that sort of did that with sort of a space action or third-person action?
Wing Commander, Privateer, maybe Anachronox. Under those headings.
Second one.
Yeah, that's a known game. Critically acclaimed, but kind of failed.
How old is it?
Pretty old. It was one of the games that came out of the Ion Storm experiment.
What was that?
You know, John Romero's thing. It also produced
Oh,
Deus Ex
okay, yeah.
of Daikatana. It's a shame Daikatana dragged everyone else down, because Anachronox and Deus Ex were both alright.
Holy Jesus, dude. Daikatana just drag. That was a black hole. Like the Gate tragedy and fucking...
Yeah, that sucked up quite a lot of stuff. The Daikatana tragedy.
What's Romero doing these days?
Hoping people don't remember Daikatana, probably.
Wakes it every day. Swings his feet off the edge of the bed.
Here we are in the
Sighs.
lifeless zone. Yellow crosses are traders and spaceports. Not every. Oh no, it's a sparkle crab. These are like space-going life forms that attack us in the lifeless zone, and also have lasers for some reason. So they drop meat that you can turn into bacon burgers. Other like types of enemies from cargo holds. This is a planet, I think. When you're ready, me.
This is the bit where I went to the bathroom.
Yeah, I think I was checking my phone. I think I just got a text. Yes, I think this is Itegan 3, which was a planet also in Rob Blanc. This was in Rob Blanc 2. See, the continuity with Rob Blanc is that sometime after Rob Blanc 3, Rob Blanc and Paul Gurwald mysteriously disappeared. And after
That's
that,
called eloping.
And after that, the galactic government collapsed.
Right. Our gay presidents have both vanished. Government's off. Everything's over.
So now all that weird, really naive sci-fi stuff my 16-year-old self wrote has been retconned out of existence, and now we're in cynical, nasty space that my slightly older self designed.
Older has a shitty data entry job Yahtzee that's built.
Yeah, I think I would have done it this time.
When did you release this one?
After 7 Days of Skeptics, so I was already in Australia. I'm not sure.
No,
Maybe been like around 05.
when did you come to Australia?
03.
Wow, that's getting a while ago now.
Okay, now we're in the protected zone, which is protected by the cops, so we will never get attacked in this zone, but we can't sell armaments or porn.
No porn. How dare you,
It was actually
fascists.
one of the better trade routes in this sector, because there's a planet that sells bacon burgers for 2 credits, and another planet that buys it for 9. So I think that's like the bulk of my trade grind for this game.
Back and forth. And you just have to walk back and forth.
Yeah, I mean that's why to make money. You can make money in other ways. You just want to make money to get through the game. The best way to do it is just to trade at the trade routes. We'll establish the other things you can do as they come up. How about that?
Oh, okay.
You can't deliberately hunt enemies. You can like tell Eric to just sort of hunt around this sector, so you get into random fights like the ones you get into during walks.
So you can sort of hunt bacon burger meat.
Yep, and you can hunt in the protected zone to hunt innocent traders, but obviously police will come after you if you do that.
Can you like do bounty hunting?
No, you can go into the go after free zone and hunt Cullthorpe. Every Cullthorpe you kill will drop a certain amount of Cullthorpe banners. You take them to the Centre of Justice, which is that space station in the bottom right. They will give you 100 credits for each one you submit. So now we're on Frumius Prime, which is where we buy red shirts and upgrade our ship. This is like the technocratic planet.
Mini machines, Onyx.
We're getting through those game mechanics. Most of them will be
bam, bam.
most of them will be established fairly quickly, and then it's the rest of the 3 hours. Yeah, very hard cut out for most of the really boring trading bits.
Holy Jesus.
Okay, so we can get more missiles, we can upgrade capacity. Early game, it's smart to upgrade your cargo bay, so you can do more trading, trade more stuff at once, make more money faster. We've got the external scanner and the tractor beam.
Yeah.
You can also improve your chance of evading shots, make your lasers more powerful, make some missiles more powerful, improve the number of shields, just your basic upgradey sort of station. Now we're going to buy some red shirts. 100 credits for a team of 5. Lifetime servitude, it's lifetime, not yours. I think red shirts is one of my favourite mechanics in this game. Once we start using them, I'll show you why.
Hit the road!
Yeah,
I think that's like an interesting gameplay mechanic that also works well in context.
Yeah, so
as a gag.
The way I'm thinking it works is like you now have a point-and-click adventure avatar whose death and replacement is a explained integral part of the story universe.
Exactly.
Alright, cool.
So on certain planets, not all of them, on certain planets we can beam red shirts down to like explore, solve puzzles, find like certain resources and stuff. But we can't beam red shirts back up. So actually part of the challenge when you're a red shirt on a planet is to find a way to die, so that you can go back to the cockpit view. So yeah, a red shirt always die. Red shirts always die once they're beamed down.